just kind of some more on Dylan, man, because honestly, when we were kind of prepping, pre-lottery, we were looking at everybody kind of 8 through 15. So as much as we have watched Dylan, and we'll get into Ace and VJ, because I honestly, just with my own life schedule, I haven't really been able to get into them too much. I've seen a little bit of Ace, but not enough of VJ, for example. But to get back to Dylan, as you mentioned, obviously a lot of his positives, and that, like you said, the things that make him the second best player in this draft are the things he does with the ball in his hands. What are some of his strengths without the ball in his hands? And if, I don't know how long that list is.
He shot 50% on open threes. That's about as long as the list goes. He can cut. He can't. It's so difficult to give Dylan Harper an evaluation
Because of
because
the coach.
the team was so bad, guys. Like he had to be on ball for them to function. Like I think they went under 500. The reason they were even sniffing 500 was because of him and Ace Bailey, and to be honest, more because of him than Ace Bailey. Like this guy is, he is an elite ball handler. 87th percentile in pick and roll, including passing as a freshman. If you would have seen some of the players he had to pass the ball to, this 87th, if he was on a decent team, would be 95th percentile. Like, guys would refuse to shoot. He didn't have a single lob threat on the team. I think he can throw lobs. He maybe threw 3 of them, or to non-Ace Bailey people, like to non-Ace Bailey players. Probably threw 3 lobs in pick and roll. Yeah, his passing doesn't seem as beautiful as, you get to like the Ryan Nemhards or like Cooper Flagg's passing is incredible. Con Nipples passing is incredible for their size, but look at the guys they played with. Like, that was an NBA roster Duke threw out there. And Rutgers is playing with like a D2 roster with 2 guys who just happen to be elite players. Like, it's a tough evaluation. Off ball, I really do think it comes down to he has the frame to be able to cut well, and he does cut well. He finishes through contact really well. But just to really harp on this point, he shot almost 70% at the rim for a point guard. Whatever you want to, for a lead initiator, for a guy who's 6'6" on ball, he shot almost 70%, and 83% of his baskets at the rim were self-created. That's absurd numbers. Like, it's 68% alone is damn near, like, I think like 94th%, like it's 90th percentile plus. Like, it's incredible for a guard, let alone almost, 17 out of every 20 shots at the rim he had to make for himself because nobody else can facilitate and help him get the ball. That's why I'm saying it's a big adjustment if you want him to be off ball. There's going to be some lumps. You ask me, I'm fine with taking the lumps now, but it really depends on where San Antonio wants to go, in my opinion, from an outsider perspective.
Outside of taking the ball out of his hands, what are some of the biggest negatives or concerns with Dylan Harper?
He lacks a mid-range game, which depends how you view it. Like, his floater game is not particularly good. He was really rough on floaters this year, so the touch from that area of the floor leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. The dribble jump shot is a little wonky. I think that his problem is going forward and getting on balance. When he does his step backs, the jumper looks so much better. But when he's coming off of screens, off a high pick and roll, don't expect him to shoot. He's looking to get to the rim, and to be honest, he gets there whenever he wants to. So like, you're cool with that. Like, some of these negatives are like, if the guy can't shoot mid-rangers but he's living at the rim, that's fine with me. Like,
right.
Yes, please continue to do that. But definitely the touch is a big issue. I don't think his passing feel is good enough right now to be a lead 1 at all times and help you consistently win games as your only source of initiation or of creation. But that's just me being a little bit skeptical because of the players that I saw him play with. Like, there were reads he made early in the season that towards the end of the season, he was like, I'm not passing you the ball, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. And it's not even, I mean, they weren't really good early in the season. And then once he played with the flu, like, this guy was battling. He lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks or 12 pounds. I think it was reported in 10 days. Like, He was going through sicknesses and still playing and still delivering, and even coming off the bench in Rutgers. So, like, to your point about coming off the bench, he did it. He did it in college as one of the best freshmen in the country. So I don't think that's, and by far the best player on his team. So, like, you know, the weaknesses really come down to that. I think defensively, this goes for both Rutgers guys. I guess we'll just like lump them in here real quick, but I don't know how much you want them to do defensively because they had to do everything on offense. Does he have flashes? Yes, he gets lanes. He's really smart. Off ball defensively, he's really strong. Like 6'6", 215 is really, really strong, especially for a guard. Is sometimes he a little lazy going around screens? Yes. Again, had the ball every possession in his hands. Like, be taken with a grain of salt. But I do think his positives far outweigh the negatives. So I do think if he is the pick, you guys should be ecstatic, at least for the player that you got, because I do think he has perennial all-star, all NBA potential without any doubt in my mind. He would have gone one last year. That's not really saying too much, but
yeah,
gotcha. I think he had an argument to go 2 the year Wemby came out. So
let me put it this way: Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper are in the same draft. Which one are you personally taking for the Spurs?
In this team right now, or like let's say last year?
Let's go last year. Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, 10 out of 10 times.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. And I love Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle was my number 1 player last year. I think he'd be number 7 or number 8 this year. And that's no shade to Stephon. I just think the class is that good.